bring in Trysta Krick. Just trying.
Trysta Krick.
Trying to.
Trysta
She
Krick.
looks.
That's what I'm calling her. Trysta Krick.
Why do you look corporate? What are you doing?
I just told you I had to meet with my boss just a second ago.
Well, I know you told me that. Like, I didn't tell the audience that, so I was setting
sorry,
you up.
I'm just in this office. This office is kind of like, how about this? Does this look better?
No, you're like corporate. Like, it's confusing.
No, I'm just wearing a shirt. It just looks like this right now. It just looks like this. It's not really like that. It just looks like that.
She said she's wearing a shirt as if she normally doesn't wear a shirt when she does the show with us. Oh, now she's taking it off. So there's that. Okay. Well, we're off to a fun start.
Tell them what my name is.
No, I will not do that. I will not do that. That will be left for us and us only. Trip to the West Coast. You saw the Kings win 2. You saw the Kings lose 2. What do you think about this series?
I hate it. I'm so sad. By the way, everybody's feeling that it was very successful. They are happy that they invested in my arrival to West Coast Krick. That was what the boss conversation was about. Everything went really well. So great. So more time in Sacramento, hopefully coming.
There you go.
That's what's up. Yeah, that's what's up. I'm worried about De'Aaron Fox and his finger. And I've been thinking about it all day, how much pain he's going to be in. Obviously, there's not a scenario in my mind that he doesn't try to play. But how effective is he going to be is a big question mark. I'm worried, man. I'm worried that our Dubs are going to come back and win this in 6. I'm worried.
So I'll let you know, since you were meeting with your boss in your corporate offices. De'Aaron did. Oh, okay.
Corporate Krick.
Corporate Krick, indeed. De'Aaron did speak today. He did take part in a non-contact practice, and he says he's 99% to 100% sure he's going to play tomorrow. Mike Brown didn't commit to that, but we all know, like, if De'Aaron talking the way that he talks today, I'm very confident De'Aaron is going to play.
Did he sound like he can shoot okay?
Well, unfortunately, he dropped he dropped one of the magic words like 12 seconds into the clip, so we couldn't play it like on the air. But he was smiling, he was laughing, he was dribbling, he was shooting. He looked extremely comfortable. He was outlining the moments when he's in pain, but he was talking about more in just life when he can feel it that he's in pain. We couldn't get to the basketball part because we had to dump out of it.
So he probably is going to be running on adrenaline, and then it's going to hurt like hell in the couple of days after. They'll probably, shoot him up with something?
Probably not. Look, in these situations, when you really want to do something, like, I've never had a broken finger. I've had, I don't even know what the terminology is. Maybe, maybe the really bad jammed finger is like, I've had really bad fingers. I've never had what's been classified as a broken finger, but I also didn't go to the doctors for it. So who knows what it was. If you really want to be out there, you figure out how to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes, it's going to hurt. And it's going to hurt for about 10 seconds, and then you shake it off and you get back to it. Like, that's just what happens. If you really want to be out there,
he's going to be in far more discomfort if they lose.
Exactly.
That'd be my guess. He's going to be in far more discomfort if the Kings go down 3-2.
It's not the same. It's a different part of the body. I've had terribly bad rolled ankles where I heard a pop and all this other stuff. And it was
okay, LeBron.
I did hear a pop. You go out there. We had the conference tournament 4 days later. I was going to play. Was I 100%? Was I able to do everything I wanted to do? If I stepped a certain way, did it kind of tweak at me a little bit? Yep, I tweaked. I shaked it a little bit. Then we went back to playing.
What do you think he's like? Me and Damien talked about this a little bit last night. What do you think he's going to? Do you think he's going to not do anything?
Dunk.
Yeah.
He might not dunk. That's about it. Everything else, he's going to at least try.
Right hand dunk? You throw a right hand dunk down?
Right-hand dunk.
Yeah,
maybe right hand dunk.
I also think he's going to test it early. Like he facilitates a lot. He gets the feel for the game. He might just like, no, let's do this right now. Not only am I testing it for me, I'm showing them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Free throw line extended, boom, De'Aaron Fox. Free throw line extended, boom, De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
De'Aaron at the basket, boom. And I know 23 is going to test it too.
Oh yeah.
He's going to be swiping for the ball and just so happen to take De'Aaron's entire handoff.
Is he gonna have a splint?
Yeah, so he has a. If you here, I can actually put it on the screen so you can see it. That's what's on his finger right there. It's like a. It's not really a splint. It's like it's wrapped and then it's like a covering.
Oh, so his second and third, his index finger and his middle finger are gonna be connected.
No, it's not connected. It's just all on one finger. So it was the very so it wasn't the Kobe like middle of the knuckle thing. It was the very
looks connected. That looks like those two fingers are connected.
No.
Oh, that's somebody else.
Fingers. There's 4 fingers right there, Trysta, and a thumb.
1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, never mind.
Did you take some of the California weed home with you? Like, what is going on over there?
I'm like, wait, 1, 2. Okay, that's fine. All right, we're back. We're back, guys. We're back.
Okay, so that's what point is. That's what it looks like. It's something that's over the top. There aren't 2 fingers stuck together or a long stiff splint keeping it in place. It's just
like ET phone home. Just a big finger.
None of that. Yeah, just that. Kings haven't lost, by the way, 3 games in a row since November 23rd. November 23rd, 25th, 28th. They lost to the Hawks and the Celtics and the Suns in that 3-game stretch before, as many of us remember, beating the Pacers on November 30th. But that was the last time they've lost 3 straight games.
When was the last time the Warriors beat a good team on the road? Our Dubs.
That's a good question because so many point out and have pointed out in the buildup to this game that the Warriors won 4 road games at the end of the year when nothing mattered for most teams.
One that people point to is, and you can debate whether this is a good road win or not, is the Mavericks win. Beat the Mavericks. That was the protested game.
The protested game. So
beat the Mavs.
I'm looking further. So the Mavericks didn't make the playoffs.
No, that's what I'm saying. People might debate whether or not.
I think. Well, man. So they beat Miami on March 23rd.
In Miami.
They beat Miami March 23rd, 118-104. It's weird because that's 1 win surrounded by 7 losses. They were 1-8 in that stretch. The one was against Miami. Before that, on March 10th, they beat Denver in Denver, 132-102. So it's probably those 2.
Yeah.
And Miami's win looks pretty incredible with Miami being fresh on everybody's mind after what we saw last night.
Well, in Miami, let's be real. Miami right now is better than they've ever been this year.
Mm-hmm.
That what we saw last night was what we thought the Heat were supposed to be all year. The regular season clearly doesn't matter. And Denver, towards the end of the year, was really just kind of, I don't want to say mailing it in, but very clearly coasting. But they didn't beat Boston in Boston. They didn't beat New York in New York. They're not. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say. I mean, I still look at, and I'm not saying you.
You know what? Hold up. Hold up. Wait. Were you just saying something shady under your breath?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Oh, you know what? Oh, you know what you need to remember really fast, just a quick aside, I don't mean to go off rail, is that Mama Krick be listening to this show when I'm not on it.
Oh,
and
really?
She told me that you blamed me for not getting parking
Yeah,
in game 2.
That's a deep pull right there. Mama Krick really be
No,
listening.
I didn't blame you for not getting parking. I blamed you for it taking me an hour to park.
Well,
How though? How would it take you? How would I have known that?
Because, well,
she said you couldn't find a parking spot. It was 2 blocks away.
I know exactly. I had no idea it would take 25 minutes to get from where I dropped you off back to the arena, which was essentially in sight. But that's the nature of a playoff game.
Wait, wouldn't you have had to go blocks off the freeway anyway? You were never gonna. It was never gonna happen. Was it a timing thing?
No, yeah, it was all timing. It was all timing. When we get off the freeway, that's our parking garage right there.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to get in there at a certain time.
Okay, or it'll just get crazy.
Yeah, or you can't get in. Yeah, you can't get into it. Shout out
How
to Mama.
How about this?
Shout out Mama Krick.
Shout out to Mama Krick. How about this? Next time you just tell me these logistics, and I'll be like, we're good then. I'll just walk.
Well, no, because that sounds petty. Like, because it is 2 blocks. It's like, hey, we're literally on the street. Can you just drop me off here? Like, in theory, it's like,
you can say that.
Of course I can. Well, I swear to God, I didn't know it would take 25 minutes to get back down.
Yeah,
the 2 blocks that it took me,
block and get back
the
to
2 block, the additional 3 minutes that it took us to go 2 blocks, I didn't realize it was going to take 25 to get back to where we.
Because she made it seem like I love Trysta, but she put me in a bad spot. I love her, but she really messed up the plans.
No,
Anyway,
there was no
I just
plan.
want to let you know she's always.
Yeah, you had me living it. No, because the story I told was walking in and you going, were you at the press conference? And it was like, nah, bro, I was parking. Like, you're already in there after walking the dog and partying with Kenny and all of that. And you're like, oh, where were you? Were you with Mike Brown? Like, no, bro, I was at the parking garage.
That's what I did. I asked Tristan, I said, where's Damien? Like, I thought he brought you here. I don't know where Damien's at.
Yeah.
Love her, but she really put me in a bad spot.
I don't remember where we were, but Jesse pointed out
wins.
I wasn't even looking at the right schedule. I was looking at last year's schedule.
Miami because that was the game. I think Jimmy Butler blocked the shot.
I wasn't even looking at the right schedule.
And
I can't find their last quality. The Lakers, February 23rd.
Oof.
They were 11 and 30.
I mean, unless you really want to grade on the curve and go with Dallas, that's the best I can. That's the best I can find.
They beat Cleveland. Their best win was at Cleveland on January 20th. They won 120-114. Other than that, they beat Houston, Dallas, OKC, Washington, Houston, Toronto. The Sacramento win doesn't count because you low managed. You beat Minnesota, doesn't count. Sacramento or San Antonio and Portland. Yeah, their best road win is Cleveland on January 20th.
And I mean, and none of that has anything to do with tomorrow. It just sets into place they've been bad on the road. But as you just said, though, in relation to Miami, Trysta, the regular season doesn't matter. And I have to imagine Golden State's
they lost to Miami.
I have to imagine Golden State's confidence is sky high.
Yeah, you're right. They just another star player that goes down against our Dubs. Predestined, ordained championship DNA.
Okay.
Look, man, the Warriors, they did what they had to do in those 2 games. I thought on Thursday, neither team really played that well. I thought the Warriors, did the little things to pull out that victory. Sunday, I thought both teams played really well. I thought the Warriors played well, and they were able to pull it out. Like Damien said, they're feeling great about themselves, feeling sky high. Are you a believer of momentum in these playoff series, or is each game their own entity essentially?
So I get criticized a lot by the way, can you guys hear me okay? Am I breaking up to you guys?
No, you're good.
Okay. I get criticized a lot for being a goldfish because the last thing that I saw, I believe is just going to happen forever, right? Like that I just think, oh, like this team, now that Golden State's won twice, like my mentality is always like same thing after the Kings won game 1 and game 2, right? It's difficult for my brain to conceive things being different. Now, I would say for the Kings, there's still more to go for shooting, right? Like that was a good shooting night, game 4. But I think there's still more upside with Kevin Herter to go. And maybe he's getting taken out of the game because he's playing so much defense and something's up with him. He's in a funk. But I do believe in momentum. I do think that I'm wrong though. I do think that there's like each game individually is its own thing. It has its own identity. Are the matchups the same? Is there going to be some countering and some scheming? Yes. Like there's certain things that you're not going to be able to solve for, like Steph Curry. The one thing that you were supposed to solve for in De'Aaron Fox is now like slightly limited, so that helps them. But it's Golden One. Golden One is so much louder than Chase. You don't need to play. You don't need to have a DJ pumping music into Golden One. The crowd noise and the cowbells is all you need. And it's rattling on both sides of it. Let me tell you this. When I heard Chase go crazy in the end of the game, in game 1, or game 3, excuse me, in Chase, when like the run was starting, it was demoralizing to me. And the girl who was giggling next to me every time the Kings turned the ball over was demoralizing to me. So Golden One, I think, will be a demoralizing environment to Golden State if they don't come out hot, right? Like they can sustain crowd noise. They're a champion, but it's going to be loud. It's essentially a closeout game, and that's the vibe that's going to be in Golden One.
You do you think the team that wins game 5 wins the series?
I think if the Warriors, I think the Warriors can win game 6 and 7, but I do not think that the Kings can win game 6.
Got you. Yeah. I kind of feel the same way.
I can understand that for sure.
Yeah, I kind of feel.
What do you think, Kenny? You're more optimistic?
I think I wouldn't write off. I can see any scenario, number one. But if the Kings lost on Wednesday, I wouldn't write them off for a game 6. I think they could still go into Chase and win a game 6 and extend the series. I wouldn't feel great about it. I wouldn't be super confident, but I do think they can go out there and win. And part of that is just like, I just think the Kings are the better team. You know what I mean? It's not like the Warriors are bad or, trash or anything like that. I just think the Kings are the better team. So I think they can win any game in this series because of that. But if they were to lose on Wednesday, lose game 5, it'd be a daunting task to say, hey, win game 6 and 7.
It's just win game 6.
Game 6.
Like that's all it is to me. Is win game 6 in San Francisco.
If that was the scenario, like if they lost game 5 and were to win game 6, they're winning game 7.
Me too. Like I'd lean on
Talking
game
about the
7
Kings.
for sure. I just like you'd have to get me past game 6 first. I'd be on the ledge.
Right.
At Public House, I'll be on the ledge. Game 6 when we're downtown at Trysta.
You know what?
That is true.
Yeah, place is great, right? You know what was interesting too is I got back here, did the show last night, and one of my co-hosts who was guest hosting, because one of the other co-hosts were out of town, he said, and he hasn't really been following the Kings a lot this year because, like I said, East Coast, on late, he's a baseball fan, he's a big college football fan, so he's just really big college basketball fan too. And he said this, he goes, Trysta, you've been talking about these Kings, and he's like kind of like real wet behind the ears, like very naive kid, like awesome kid. He's like, you've been talking about these Sacramento Kings, but Trysta, they're just better. They're better. I hate to say it, but you're right. They're a better team than the Warriors and our Dubs. And he said this, he said, my dad called me And he said, PJ, did you watch that Warriors game on Sunday? And I said, Dad, I sure did. And he goes, wow, I love these Sacramento Kings. The world is falling in love. It's a love story.
Oh, well,
Let
don't tell anyone in San Francisco that.
Well, I was about to say, so you saw the numbers about the ratings in Game 4. Obviously, Warrior fans think that has everything to do with them and nothing to do with the Kings. Do you think, like, NBA fans in general are feeling the same way? Like, hey, this Kings team is fun to watch. Obviously, they know the Warriors. They're, as you would say in the betting world, a public team. So everybody knows the Warriors. So there's a familiarity with it. But do you think the combination of the Warriors and this particular Kings team is added to these ratings, or is it just all Steph Curry?
Let me ask you this. If you had to guess, game 2 in Memphis last year in the second round, game 2, game 3, if you had to guess what those ratings were, more or less than this first round, and by how much, what would you guess?
Less by, are we doing peak number or average number?
Peak number.
4 million.
Just percentage-wise, how much more, how much less do you think, Kenny?
25% less.
40% less. Second round, John Morant versus Steph Curry, 40% less than the first round series between the Sacramento Kings and our Dubs. So obviously it's all Steph Curry, even though that's the exact same common denominator. And I believe that the finals, game 1, were worse ratings as well. There's multiple instances that you can find. I believe that the finals against the Toronto Raptors in game 3 was less than the first round between the Sacramento Kings. What we're seeing is the Warriors versus the Warriors. We're seeing, that commercial where it's Charles Barkley sitting on the couch with himself, only 30 years. That's what that is. That's what we're seeing right now.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. We appreciate you as always. We know you got a show to do.
Corporate
we miss you already. We did
Don't call me that.
Well, you kind of are. You're in a corporate setting. You had your little blazer on earlier.
I'm literally kneeling down on the floor in the one spot of this office where there's service.
Why are you?
That's why
I'm trying to find service. I'm on my phone.
Wow. And you're in like
Wi-Fi's not great.
Yeah.
Pause, please.
Okay.
Please.
All right.
Please don't do it. Please.
Okay. It just looks. All right. We're going to go.
Looks bad. I'm going to go.
Okay. All right. You go. We'll both go.
All right. See you later.
We'll say goodbye on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
1,
Bye.
2, 3.